Hi, and I will begin with a little bit of introduction as to what I'm going to do, and then move on to my sexaholic and shopaholic section, and then come back to a lot of workaholic in chemical engineering. All right, so this is physical absorption. You all know what absorption is. This is physical absorption, and my MH thesis. This is my MH thesis, Master of Engineering. This is a non-thesis option, and I did this before I got my MSc. My supervisor then, Brad Sewell, thought that I would have an even more in-depth knowledge of the subject at hand. So I ended up because the my defense committee had left me feeling a little, unsure of myself. So he said, you register wider for another MAC, and I ended up getting fellowships, research funds. So it was all good. One semester I worked for my MNG. So here goes physical methods. So he absorption, and commonly employed adsorbents are calcium carbonate. And I wanted something which is non-toxic because I could taste the alcohol again. Last time I tasted alcohol, but it tasted of vinegar because now I remember, and they're the same enzymes because I have to compare. So I have set this up for t equals 30 minutes or 20 minutes, and by the time I'm done with my sexaholic shopaholic portion, life should be ready for the start of the same reaction again. Remember was it Sunday or was it Saturday? Saturday, did they show? I I um you know checked and measured. And before I continue further, first, this is afterwards. All right, before I move on to the sexaholic and shopaholic section and come back to workaholic, the immobilization procedure is in progress. That's the physical absorption. So there are, same number of enzyme capsules, 3. And then I just took 500 milligrams, 1 capsule of calcium carbonate. All right, so this is raw alcohol. And this was in our kitchen. T initial was, I added boiling water into the substrate mixture, beets, shredded beets. And and 89% of beets is carbohydrates. And for glucose to come into solution, I thought amylase would react. So there's glucose in the beets, other fructose, and amylase acts as takes it out because the carbohydrates there might be sucrose, disaccharides, monosaccharides. They're all carbohydrates. All right. So pH for amylase is 6 to 7. pH for invertase is 4 to 6. PK, I spoke about this. This is a lot of feedback. I worked hard. You to maybe pay a bit of my money for my charity. And sugars and beets. So this is from Healthline, 6.8 grams. Carbs, 9.6 minus 6.8. Possibly a disaccharide. All right. So 136 grams of beets have this much. I have taken 56.7 grams. And glucose solution density 1.56, and so I just stuck to density. This is my check. All right, I remembered statistics, so plus or minus 95% confidence interval. I have Professor Bulk's course. Professor Bulk was a very strict man, for a man with twinkling eyes. You think Santa? I don't think so. You had to work really hard, but he upgraded my grade from a B minus to a B. So I think he was Santine Melon. All right. So measure density from samples. There is one sample only. T equals 3 minutes. So 1 gram. Both I got 1 gram. Plus or minus 95 CSEI. There is 100 RH. There are 0.42 and 4.03232. But that I did not need. I thought I would balance the equation. But there's glucose in there. What am I balancing? Right? So then I took density of this, mass by density of glucose, what's given on the internet, plus mass by dense raw water is equal to mass by raw mixture. So I would need mass here, 4.032 grams of glucose, plus 100 by 100 grams, 100 mil, 100 grams, 2.54 plus 100. So 100 mil with so 1 gram. So density found with 95% CI, 1 gram per mil, plus or minus 5% or margin of error. And I looked up this, because I had to I have a statistics book, photocopy. Can't do that, copyright protection. But we all did it. All right. So that was the recommended book by Professor Bulk. So this is the book, Confidence Intervals. It's a PhD thesis by Diana Minjola and Fee Ballantyne. So mean value on the internet is equal to value on the internet. Value on the internet. That's the glucose mean density. 1.56 sample mean is equal to 1. I have only one experiment. Margin of error is equal to 0.95 level of confidence multiplied by experimental value. What I got? 1 gram per mil multiplied by population standard deviation by number of samples. So what's my standard deviation? 0.56. 0.95. So 0.532. This is the margin of error. So my answer is 1.532, and it is, fairly close, 1.56. But it's not accurate, but it's within the plus or minus 95% confidence interval. This is what I wanted to say. So now, all right, now a little bit of am I close, or I finish the whole experiment and then move on to my sexaholic shopaholic portion. There's 10 more minutes to go. Water's boiling. Physical absorption, more on physical absorption. Check your book, Smith. It's in fine condition. I've not done much reading, but we used to have notes. And this is mostly chemical absorption. I have done all chemical absorption, chemical immobilization, and etc. Absorbent, all solids. Absorbate, all gases, low temperature. So this is about temperature range. Heat of absorption, low. Very rapid. So I think I'm going to move on. After very rapid, low E. Chemisorption was high temperature. Okay, but I can repeat it. We will see, all right? Because it cools off very fast and it's still, So 10 minutes, all right, I think I'm going to stop because it's very quick. Physical absorption. I'm going to move on. I'm going to add my substrate here. And I have to be consistent. So here goes 2 ounces again, which is 56.7, 2 ounces, 6.7 grams. I'm going to add here. 10 minutes is enough. 10 minutes of immobilization time. Then, because I don't feel right. Because I'm in the middle of a technical discussion going on to singing and dancing. 50 ml. 50 ml. Fast. Okay. So there was already 50 ml in there. All right, let's see. So this is, okay, stir. Time chapter 5, 11 minutes. So stir. I'll reset the timer. 6 minutes. So let's write. All right, the immobilization period. Immobilization period. Period is equal to 110 minutes because Smith says physical absorption is very quick. So low temperature, but I think I took high temperature. But then, calcium carbonate had to become powder form. So it did. So this is immobilized enzyme. All right. So let us see. Normally you recover, but it's all friendly. Food engineering sort of style. So, okay. So 1 minute. So 2 more minutes and I'll take a sample. All right. And see what the density is. Okay. Stir, stir, stir. I'm not going to do taste assay because last time the whiskey hit me a little. No taste assay. Okay. If it matches, then the physical absorption is the way to go. Calcium carbonate is the right absorbent to use. And if it's close, if I get more or less, I have no idea. I'll have to. So activity of immobilized enzyme at T equals 0. Last experiment. This is T equals 10 minutes. I had thought I would do for immobilization period T equals 10 minutes. All right. Three minutes. All right. So Napa Valley says on the internet, in textbooks, it's been wiped out because invertase they say converts sucrose to glucose and fructose. But in Napa Valley, where I went, invertase used to convert glucose plus maybe carbon dioxide to acetic acid and alcohol, which is acid plus base. So, glucose is an aldose, and maybe aldehyde is like a organic salt, maybe. So what's the time now? So 3 minutes, okay. 3 minutes, time 3 minutes. Oh. Okay. Yellow meniscus, 5 mil. What's the weight? It's 1/4. It's higher. So maybe, 1/4 needed to be 1/4. So T equals 3 minutes. Density rho glucose is equal to 1/4 of 25 grams by 4 by 5 mil. Okay, which is what is 25 grams by. All right, we'll measure this after. Okay, we'll put this back in the reaction mixture. And next sample. Then you again remember acetic acid vinegar. Acetic acid has to be added to reduce the pH to an acceptable value for invertase. But invertase I have very little. Each capsule has only 2 milligrams of invertase. But this vinegar, it tastes vinegarish. It's also making vinegar, I think. So there's extra vinegar there. And I'm maybe 100 ml is too much, but I have to compare the same thing. Sorry, 50 ml is too much, but okay, one more minute. Is this one slow? Just taste a bit, maybe. Or no taste acid. This whiskey got to my head the last time. It's just 5 ml, but I did that. Whoa! Stir. In the lab, you have stir heaters and stir bars and everything, right? Okay, I'm going to just remember by the time I stirred and began. So this is filtration. It's about one third. So it's improving. We are getting actually more glucose. T equals 6 minutes. 25 grams by 3 by 5 ml. Now I'm going to add 50 ml of vinegar. Okay. Vinegar. Yeah, 50 ml. Okay. All right. Start of reaction again, 6 minutes. Oh, it's become foamy. There's some other reaction happening. Calcium carbonate. Look what happened. Beer. Taste. It's all friendly. Why did it become foamy? This is the thing with chemical engineering, all right? Things don't follow what you... Right, 3 minutes, density, pH. I'm going to taste a little. Homie, you have to note it down. After addition of vinegar, of acetic acid, substrate mixture, substrate solution turned foamy. Okay, so this foam's reducing. Okay, 3 minutes. All right, we're going to see. Okay, we'll just check this out. Yeah. Five mil. Okay, Malone. Okay. Oh, 25 by 2. Oh, 25 by 2. Multiple mammograms. 5 ml. Oh, that's what I had the last time. That's what I had the last time. Okay. Oh. All right. So 3 minutes. What did I have the last time? Oh. 12.5 by 2 by that same thing. Same as the last time. So 1.67. So this has to be checked out. And we'll just see. Almost there. Feeling the fumes. Again, if I were to do this with the margin of error, And then immobilization yield, I think was pretty good. But physical absorption, desorption is also very fast. It gets absorbed fast, but it desorbs also. It's a little weak, the bond. The absorption, you know. But absorption isotherm and everything, so it should be okay. Temperature 100 degrees centigrade. Okay, I'm going to, one more minute. And, okay, the foam went away. Foam went away. Beaker. Okay, almost done. All right. We going to almost done. I think there was some overlap, right? So I'm going to take t equals approximately 6 minutes. Oh, this is close to 20. This is, we are back to 1. All right. So the so density of alcohol is 0.789 and t equals approximately 6 minutes. Rho is equal to 20, close to 20 grams per 5 mil. Oh, that's like 4 grams. 4 gram per mil. Clearly I made something, but okay. Taste assay. All right, so I have to. Oh, this is alcohol. This is alcohol. All right. So it doesn't taste vinegarish either. Last time it's completely reactive. Normally immobilized enzyme, but it dissolves. So it's not very easy to operate separator, etc. You need a really nice screen size and that sort of thing. But did not taste very vinegar like taste. Taste off, I guess. Taste off, very vinegar. All right. So if I were to see immobilization yield, I think I've had very, very high immobilization yield, right? Very high immobilization yield, better than with soluble enzymes. So you see optimal temperature, optimal, etc. all comes into play here. All right. Maybe help myself to a little bit more whiskey. 6 p.m. in the evening. I think that. All right. So now moving on to my sexaholic portion. All right. So here goes. I have been inspired by and by as a sexaholic, inspired by Robert Johnson and Mike Philliman. Yes, steady, rolling woman, unquote. I was the times, rolling down the train tracks, catching the rhythm of the blues. Come on into my kitchen, unquote. When I tried it, I stairs. The lips of a boy who counts the stars in the horses. Who the sea to dance and what singing the music of the storms steady the tear of the lynch black man by the flat. Beautiful music. Give a big hand to the musician. And here, gonna play. Okay, I'm gonna play Great Tango Artist. Going down the crossroads, my life, I see a life way of world. I'm ready to choose the path, walking there. One light goes straight on ahead, straight on ahead, straight on ahead. Where is the answer to my prayers? Lord, have mercy on my soul. Oh, Lord, these valleys are your feet. You with Christ and by, and the water runs cold until June. Beat home, Toronto, Toronto, where the prophecies they say, they say, well, it's fed. Thank you. Give a big round of applause to the musicians.